If you're just joining in, you are right in time for this live session. Thank you so much that you could find time to be here. And today we are talking about this important aspect when it comes to electrical, and it is basically troubleshooting. It is important for electrical technicians as well as the homeowners and even anyone that is in this field to understand how these circuits operate and also understand how they can be able to deal with any issues that may come with these electrical installation. Now, I would wish to highlight some of the things that we need to know when it comes to this single phase installation, where we have the meter box that is here. And from the meter box, we have power dropping all the way. For mine, the power is coming from beneath. And in our previous live session, we said that it is important to have power coming from below because of the issues to do with rainwater. If you have inlets from this part here, then the meter box will be susceptible to rainwater or any form of moisture coming in to this meter box here, affecting the components. The rainwater may affect the components in the sense that they might begin to rust, or it may short circuit the phase and the neutral. So water is an enemy to this setup here, or if I may say, water is alien to these electrical fixtures here. So the meter box must be kept as dry as possible. And that is one area whereby you might encounter challenges if at all there is an issue of water. Before we go far, let me know where you're streaming from. And if you are already finding some value here, smash that like button. My name is John, and I'm steering this ship. So glad to have you as part of the crew. Thank you so much. Where are you from? Let me know, and I will really appreciate. So thankful for your company. Now, from the meter box, we now head to this important section here. This is what I normally refer to as the heart of any electrical installation. This is the consumer unit. Let me just give a brief discussion or a brief illustration of how electricity flows to your house or to your building. Now, from the transformer, we have the single phase transformer, or we probably have the three-phase transformer. From the transformer, we have the phase and the neutral lines coming all the way to your house. Once they come, they will get to a pole that is nearby, and with this drop cable, this is a drop cable that we were discussing the other session, and we have the phase connection and we have the neutral connection. These connections here are very important because we will have to tap our neutral from here, and we will tap our phase from here. So from the transformer, electricity flows through this phase connection and it goes back to the transformer through this neutral. That is how we get our complete circuit. If you have ever heard of that term, that is how we get our complete circuit. Thank you so much. I have Anyona streaming all the way from Qatar. Wow, Doha. I thank you so much for your presence here. You are an amazing top boss. I refer to my my friends such as you as top boss, because without you I wouldn't definitely be here. So glad to see most of you in here. Now, that is how electricity works. So if we take an example of a simple thing such as a bulb, electricity will flow to your bulb through this phase, get into your bulb, and get back to the transformer through this neutral, and that is how your bulb will be able to light up. Now, from the meter box, now from the pole, this cable will come all the way to the meter box through this section here, which is actually the cutout. Then from the cutout, we will have our main switch here. This main switch is a DPMCB or a double pole miniature circuit breaker. Its main purpose is to cut the supply of electricity to your house in case there is an overcurrent. So if, for instance, someone says that actually there is a problem in my house and I have an issue whereby I don't have electricity, then and probably the neighbors have and they are connected to the same power line or the same conductors that are on the nearby pole or the multiple pole that is there, multiple connection pole that is there, then it means there is a problem. So as an electrician, all you will need to do is to ensure that you have the right tools. All right, the number one important instrument that I love to have as an electrician is the digital multimeter. This digital multimeter has a lot of functions, and since we are talking about troubleshooting, let us go ahead and talk about most of these features of this meter here. Now I have also my friend here. He's called Nabuma Prosi. Thanks, brother, from Uganda. Wow, it's such an honor to have you, Prosi, here. Thank you so much for streaming all the way from Uganda. I have a lot of followers from Uganda, and to have you here representing the entire Republic, I salute you. I am really honored to have you. Thank you so much. So this digital multimeter here is very important in electrical troubleshootings. And so if you are a serious electrician, you definitely will have it. And we have several features here. You can take readings for earthing, that is the earth resistance. You can take readings for the resistance for a wire, readings for a circuit resistance, and you can also take readings for continuity. All of these is in regards to the resistance. But for the earth connection or the earth resistance, we definitely have more sophisticated gadgets or sophisticated instruments that can actually give us better readings than what this digital multimeter can give us. When we come to voltage, we can measure voltage either in DC direct current or in AC alternating current. That is in terms of a VDC, a voltage in DC, or voltage in AC, VAC. We also have current. We can measure current here. We can as well measure or take the readings for capacitance. And when it comes to current, we can take readings for current both in AC as well as current in DC. We'll talk about all of that when I will be covering how to use a multimeter to take the readings of all of these important aspects of electrical engineering. I also have my good friend who is Alex Mugoda. Thanks for the good lessons. Alex, how are you doing? Glad to have you here. Where are you streaming from, Alex? Oh, wow, wonderful. And if you're just joining in, give me those likes. I will appreciate. If you're finding value, that is the best way that I will know. So that is about the multimeter. And if you want to measure or to take readings of a certain concept, you must be able to know how to use a multimeter. Just before we go to voltage. So when it comes to voltage, let's say we are taking the readings of AC voltages, we will have, to turn our, see this pointer here, we will turn it all the way to where AC is. And also as an electrician, you must be able to anticipate a certain reading. Now for me, if I'm anticipating a reading in 240 volts or 230 volts, that is the voltage that is supplied to our homes here in Africa, then I will definitely have to set it at 750, because this is within 230 30 to 240 is within the range of that. But if I may place it at 200, then I will have issues because that will mean a lot of problems. I cannot have it there because the readings that I'm expecting are above what the gauge here is. Thank you so much. I have Bayuku. Bayuku Conte says, thank you for the good idea. You are welcome, Bayuku. Where are you streaming from? Let me know, Bayuku. I will really, really appreciate, and thanks for being here. If you are getting some value, hit that like button. And if you're just joining in and you have not subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel as well as electrical. Now, direct into this, I was talking about a fault that is in the house, in the customer's house, whereby there is an issue to do with power. And you find that the person, the specific customer, is having an issue with their electricity, where the neighbors have power, but the customer does not have power. What could be the problem? You know, it's not a blackout in the neighborhood, but others have power and they don't have power. So definitely what you'll need to do is to get to the meter box. And once you get here, if let's say this switch is on and the meter is powered, then you will know that there is no problem here. The problem is in the house. What if this switch is on and the meter is not powered? Then you come back here, you reverse the process. You'll come all the way to this cutout and you will need to find out what could be the issue. The first suspect is to take out this fuse carrier. This is a single phase fuse carrier for the cutout. And then you will want to take the readings. If at all everything looks good, like for instance, you see with my uh, cutout carrier, fuse carrier here, these copper plates are looking good, so it means that there is no issue of arcing and all those burnings that normally happen whenever you have issues, electrical issues at the cutout level. So once you are able to detect that things are okay here and the meter is not powered, this main switch has not tripped, and everything looks okay here, then it means there is a problem. You will take your meter here, and at this particular point we want to determine the continuity of this fuse. Continuity means if the fuse is broken or blown, or if it is okay. So I will have to direct my meter here, the pointer of my meter here, all the way to this particular point where I have this diode indicator. Okay, don't know whether it is visible over there for you. When I have this indicator here, it definitely will give me some continuity readings. So before I have my probes, you know, taking any readings, then there is a one indication, meaning the resistance is very high. I've not, you know, taken any readings. What if I decide to short circuit these probes? There is that sound definitely, and then we will have 0 resistance, meaning there is continuity. Now if I want to know whether my fuse here is continuing or it is broken, I will definitely have to take my probes and place them at both of these connections here, here and here. So again, as you can hear, there is a sound there, meaning continuity, and the resistance is 0. Don't know whether it is visible from your screen. Yes. So that indicates that this fuse that is in here is perfect and it is conducting its it is allowing electricity to pass through. So now I will ask myself, then what is the issue? Probably when you get to that point, then you will have to take the readings in terms of voltage. And these readings you will take in terms of an AC voltage. So again, you will take your meter, digital multimeter, and then direct your pointer all the way to AC there. You will direct your pointer to AC so that you can be able to take the readings. And again, like I said, what readings are you expecting? For me, I be expecting 230 volts, and then I will place my probes where I have the phase and the neutral. So there I expect 230, but if there is nothing coming in here on my screen of the digital multimeter, then there is a problem. And so I will try to find out where the problem could be, and definitely it would mean that the drop cable that is dropping power to these double cutout here has an issue, or the cutout itself has an issue. Probably there is loose connection, and I will need to disconnect this this cable here and see what could be the problem. All right. So I will solve it. Definitely, there are high chances that there was some issue to do with arcing. Arcing led to the burning, and that burning made his cable to actually loosen or not conduct electricity. So I will definitely cut out that part that has burned, and if the cutout is not much affected, I will still use the same cutout. If the cutout is affected in the manner that it has a lot of burning parts, then I will definitely have to buy a new one, a quality one, and ensure that at the point where I'm connecting this drop cable back, I have to use the right tool so that I do a tight connection for the cables, because loose connections will definitely lead to such a problem. Now, once that is done, there is another scenario that may happen also. You find that if your customer has a problem of electricity and this double pole here, or this miniature circuit breaker here, has tripped, therefore it means that they don't have power supply, and even the energy meter is off, as you can see. Let me just have my camera closer. Thank you so much for your presence in here. I appreciate you for joining in this live stream. And if you are already finding some value here, smash the like button. Also, let me know where you are streaming from. I will appreciate. So yeah, when it comes to this double pole here, this main switch, and you find that there is actually a problem that it has tripped, then it means that there was an issue to do with the load, meaning there was probably high current. And you know, this, the main purpose of this double pole is to trip in case of an overcurrent, therefore protecting the connections, therefore protecting the load, or protecting the customer against any issues. So this double pole here will trip in the event that there is an overcurrent, right? So especially for this one, it is rated 63 amps. Don't know whether I can be able to see it clearly. Yes, it is rated 63 amps. So any current that exceeds that will definitely cause it to trip, therefore saving that load from an issue, or that property from, you know, any issue. The overcurrent may also be as a result of a short circuit. If there is a short circuit, then this DP switch will definitely trip, so that it may save the uh, property owner from further damage, right? So that is how it happens. Now from there, we will have also another scenario that I can illustrate. Assuming that this double pole switch is on, but still the customer does not have electricity supply, the next suspect will definitely be this energy meter. Once you open this screw here, or once you unscrew it here, there is a likelihood of a fault that may be in this energy meter. And before we probably go to the energy meter, there's another issue that may happen as well. Let's say this double pole switch is on, but the customer does not have electricity and the energy meter is off. Another likelihood that there is a fault is at this particular point where you will have this cable or this connection charred, or it will have burned out due to loose connections. When such an event happens, you will find that that connection is not allowing easy flow of electricity from the double cutout to this double pole here, and it does not give an output definitely here. That is why we say loose connections are a problem. So if there is a loose connection here, or probably someone made a connection and they screwed on the insulation, then that electrical conductivity will have a problem. So you will not get an output here with time. So if that happens, your energy meter will not be powered, and definitely the consumer unit or the installation will not have supply of electricity. All right. Now, assuming that this double pole is well connected, there is an output, and then at this energy meter there is an issue. There is an issue of it's not indicating any flow of electricity through this diode here. Then it will mean that there is also a loose connection at this particular point where we have the input from this double pole switch. In most cases it is hard to find such a fault, but the fault is normally on the output of the energy meter, because the load is drawing current from the meter. And if there is a loose connection at the load section where the output of the phase and the neutral is compromised, then it means that you will have a problem in where if there is the cables have been overheating, they have burnt the connections. The connections are hot most of the time. So, and in most cases, this will happen if someone also screwed on the insulation, or if they screwed the wires, they did a bad job at tightening that connection. So with time, these connections here have been burning, and once they burn, they affect how electricity is conducted to that house. So you'll find that the energy meter is on. Everything all the way here is on, is okay. This part here is working perfectly. There is flow of current or electricity all the way to our double pole switch, and there is an output that you get once you use your digital multimeter. you know you take your digital multimeter and also have to place it at that particular point. My multimeter is automatic, so it goes off by itself. That is a very good multimeter. So you place it at 750 because I'm anticipating 230 volts, and you take the readings at this particular point here and also here. Sorry for that. Take the readings at the phase and the neutral. Now, I've not powered my installation. I'm sorry for that. And I'm just taking you through for this, but I will be demonstrating it well. So if for this energy meter, the input, the phase is incoming through this particular point here, and then it's outgoing through this particular point. And then we have the neutral coming in here, and its output is here. So if I want to determine whether the energy meter is receiving power supply, definitely I will place my probes at the input of the phase and the input of the neutral. To determine whether there is an output from the energy meter, I will definitely place my probes at the output of the phase on the energy meter and the output of the neutral on the energy meter. So that will mean I will have to place my probes here and also here. Assuming there is no output here, but the meter is on, it will mean that the connection is bad or this energy meter has an issue. It is receiving electricity, yes, but there is no output, meaning it has an internal issue. In fact, if the energy meter is powered, you will definitely have these outputs giving an output or giving a reading here. You know, you get, for instance, what I'm expecting is 230. I will get my readings here, even without considering what voltage is getting to the house. But if I'm not getting a reading, the energy meter definitely is the suspect. What if I'm getting a reading at these screws here, but the house does not have electricity? Then there is an issue with the connection. What if the connection is perfect, but the house does not have power supply? Then our cables are at are the ones to be checked for that issue. Smash that like button if you are already finding some value in our today's live stream. My name is John, and I'm so glad that you could find time to join in this live session of today, where we are talking about troubleshooting electrical issues, especially in a single phase setup. So we have already started with this meter box here, and we are going to learn a lot when it comes to the entire setup. If you're here and you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of these episodes. So in our yesterday's video or live stream, we were talking about the life of an electrician, or how an electrician should die. And basically in that video, it uh, the title actually is, in hindsight, is how an electrician should live. Like, for instance, in the video that I've released just a few hours ago, is basically talking about a very good lifestyle led by an electrician, where if you lead a good lifestyle, you will definitely be able to enjoy your life, and you'll be able to get the most out of these uh, career. I have my good friend here, Kabur Gerard from Uganda, Kampala, and he's following. Thank you so much, Kabur. Kalalo still here says, hey, thanks for the teaching, boss. Oh, Kalalo. Kalalo has just joined. Thank you so much, Kalalo. Glad to see you, Kalalo Ismail. Yeah, says, thanks for teaching, boss. You are absolutely welcome, Kalalo. And you also add their teacher, per mile on the street. Wow. I wish I knew some, some Uganda. I would simply interpret that one, but if you don't mind, let me know the interpretation over there. Kalalo. I'm also your follower, brother. So long time. Wow, Kalalo. Let me tell you something. I have great friends, because when I was starting on TikTok and other social media platforms before I I became so focused also on our YouTube channel, I gathered a lot of friends along the way, and definitely my good friend Kalalo, who is a great follower, might have interacted with me on other platforms. Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook? Or is it on Instagram, my good friend Kalalo. Anyway, thank you so much for being a follower. You know, if I have a friend such as you who is able to, follow me on other platforms apart from YouTube, I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. We are here to learn, and I will definitely guide you through. And I'm not saying that I am perfect or the best one here. You probably are the best in this game. And if I do any thing that is wrong, kindly feel free to, direct me and also guide me through. Yes, Kalalo says he found me on YouTube. Thank you so much. And yeah, you also have my number. Wow, we probably have interacted on on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. I appreciate your loyalty. So that is a brief description of how things can happen at this particular level where you are doing that troubleshoot. And that is why it is of much importance for an electrician to understand where to start, especially with the issue of a fault in electrical. Now, where to start is something that is important. Also, what to test in case a customer has told you of a fault. Number three, what tool or instrument will you be using? And number four, do you know how to use it? Number five, after you have found a problem, how do you troubleshoot? How do you solve it? That is another issue altogether. Yes, this is a problem. There is an open circuit or there is no continuity in that circuit. Yes, that is the problem. Current is not flowing from this point to this point. Okay, I've noted that. Then, how do I solve it? For me, another important thing that I will also consider is how do I solve it once and for all, so that I don't have my customer calling me after a few hours telling me that the same problem has recurred. So those are the main factors that you need to consider while troubleshooting. So I've taken you through the process in the meter area. So we would sorry about that. I'd want us now to proceed to the level where we are talking about the consumer unit and what are some of the faults that may occur if at all a customer says that I don't have power or I don't have lights or I have this issue and that issue. So we will start at this meter box. The customer has said they don't have power. I have walked you through the possibilities of troubles in this meter box here. Let's assume that everything is okay at this meter box level where we have the input from the pole, check. We have the output from the double cutout, check. We have the output going all the way to the double pole or the main switch, check. We have the output from the main switch to the meter, check. We also have the output from the energy meter exiting to our consumer unit, check. But there is an issue. The power does not reach the consumer unit. So it will mean that we are not yet done with this meter box here. So what do we do? The next aspect will be the cables. The cables that are conducting power from the meter box all the way to the consumer unit. But how do we go about it? We have determined that indeed from the meter box, power is exiting. There is an output signal. okay, from the energy meter all the way to the consumer unit. But power is not in that house. What could be the issue? Let me know from the comment section. What do you think? Mm-hmm. I have good comments here. Nabuma Prosi has been here for some time. Thank you so much. Kalalo Ismail. Mm-hmm. All right, all right. Kalalo together with Nabuma, are both Ugandans, great friends of mine, and I appreciate to have all of you here. Now, what I'm saying is that from the meter box, we have already determined that indeed there is an output. Going to the consumer unit, there is a problem because you know what? Our customer is not having electricity supply. So what do you think might be the problem between the meter box and the consumer unit? What could be the likelihood of a fault? What do you anticipate is the fault, and what has caused this fault, to come up? Because we have the output from the meter box, everything is working well, but our customer does not have electricity supply in the home or in that house. What do you think is the issue? And what do you think has caused it? Because at the output of the meter, there is electricity supply. But to the consumer unit, there is no power supply. What is the issue there? Let me know what you think about that. Mhm. Also, let me know where are you streaming from, and how is this live session coming along for you. If you will be streaming this on or you'll be watching this or as a recorded version, then let me know um, what you think. Mhm. If you are just joining in, smash the like button if you're already finding some value in here. And if you'll be watching on a recorded version, give us the likes. Just know that you will learn a lot when it comes to electrical supply. Nabuma, a great follower, a great fan of mine, is really, really giving me a lot of feedback here, like nobody's business. And I thank you so much for that, Nabuma. You're saying your explanation makes me to follow every the episode, and we miss WhatsApp group. Thanks. Wow. Thank you so much, Nabuma. My explanation is easier. I try to, call myself up for some meetings and ask myself, if I was the one talking to myself, would I understand a concept? So I try as much as possible, to make everything as easier as it can be. Sometimes I even refer to as a cable, I refer to it as a wire so that someone can understand. Sometimes I don't use the word conductor, I will use the word wire because it resonates with many. But sometimes I may go overboard or I may not be able to give the best. Like I said, I'm not perfect and I'm always here to take your corrections. And in most cases, you do correct me. And I really do appreciate top bosses for your guidance. I have Lucy Pius. Please, can you teach me privately about electrical installation? Absolutely. We have classes that we began as Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. We have recorded versions, we have courses running, and I will be linking that on our show notes with time. And we also have one-on-one coaching whereby if you want to understand much about the meter box, the consumer unit, electrical installation, I definitely guide you through and through. Be it on an online platform where we have the webinars or sessions such as this one, be it probably on live sessions, or be it the guidance through the live sessions that we can have and sometimes I guide people on the right tools to buy so that we work together in sessions that are intended to be live practical sessions. We also organize one-on-one sessions whereby we interact on a one-on-one basis to learn about electricity connections and how to troubleshoot. And it is always interesting for me. I always love those sessions so much. Also on the courses that we offer, which are also online, we do a great job to ensure that you get value out of the courses, as well as we do a follow up to ensure that you become better. It is not just about completing the course or the session, or just saying we had several guys going through Top Heights University. Wow, we are about to refer to it as that. Top Heights University, does that name make sense? Or Top Heights Electricals Academy? You guys give me a name. Or Top Heights uh, School. So anyway, Lucy, let us interact. We will interact more, and I hope you can get in touch with me definitely through the either other social media platforms through the DM, but also feel free to comment with your email address, and I will definitely be linking up with you. And anyone interested in this, I'll definitely get in touch with you for that. Let us make electricity as simple as possible. This, I normally say, anyone can become an electrician because it is so easy. It is so easy. It is usually a perception that electricity is dangerous and all that, and so you shy away from anything electrical. But if, for instance, for this case, I'm demonstrating with power which is off, I have not powered my installation here for the same reason that I want you not to be scared while you are watching this. Because if I wanted to power this installation, I will definitely power it through here. And power will come all the way to this cutout, flow to my double pole MCB here, flow into the energy meter. And then from the energy meter, it will go all the way to the consumer. But because I don't want to scare you or to make you think that I will start receiving electric shock mid this live stream, that is why I am doing everything which is off. Thank you so much, Rajabu Abdallah. Nice lesson, like it. Awesome. Thank you so much for your feedback, Rajabu. Glad to have you here. Daniel Hungo, I'm here again. Daniel, appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is such an honor to have you consume my content over and over and over. Wow. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. So you're welcome. Feel free here. Give me the likes if you're receiving value out of this video. So at the meter box, like I have said, we have guaranteed our customer or ourselves that everything is working well, but still they do not have power supply. There is an output at my energy meter going all the way to their house, or whatever that installation is. It could be a business single phase installation, but the power output is not getting all the way to the house or to that building or to that home. What could be the issue? And that is why I was also asking you, if for instance you are faced with that situation, then my question to you is, what do you think is the likely problem there, right? What is the problem and what is the cause? Anyone who can attempt? We have an output of electricity from the meter, but the house is still in darkness. Any attempt as I sip my water here? Are you sipping your water, or what are you sipping on? Mhm. Lucy Pius, thank you so much for your feedback. You saying, I'm really impressed with your explanation. Please create time for private class. Absolutely. We will have that. And I will definitely get in touch with you, Lucy. I can see the drive in you, the passion. All you require in this electrical field is that drive, that passion. And I'm here to guarantee you that I will take you through. So thank you so much. So what do you think when it comes to that kind of fault, whereby we have electricity output from our meter box, but the consumer unit is not receiving power supply, right? Mm, who can guess what is the issue? Of course, what is connecting our meter box to the consumer unit is these main cables here. These main cables, we have the earth connection, we have the neutral, as well as the phase, and it drops all the way, to the consumer unit. So for me to assure you that everything is okay, we have to ensure that we cover everything there using my screwdriver. Also, the type of tools that you are using and the way that they have been made is important. When you're going to do the troubleshootings and doing your work, you must ensure you have the right tools. This is a tool for electrical because it ensures or it protects you against any shocks or electrical leakages. So I will cover my neutral over there just to ensure that there is no electrical hazards. And then taking my fuse carrier here, I will ensure that everything is okay, like that. So at this particular point, as an electrician who is doing that troubleshooting, you have been sure that everything is okay. So what you need to do is now to ask yourself a lot of questions like, what is happening? Why is my customer not uh, having electricity supply? Rajabu Abdallah, glad to have you here and really engaging in this session. You have really nailed it. It will be cable does not allow current to pass through. Amazing. You got it 100%. If the meter box gives us an output of electricity and there is no input at the consumer unit over there, then the cable connecting this meter box to our consumer unit has a problem. That cable has a problem. That is a very excellent answer from our good friend Rajabu, and finds a fault with the mains cable that is connecting our meter box to our consumer unit. Excellent, excellent, Rajabu. Now, before I go out of this topic here, we also have an issue when the customer says this. Probably the customer says, I'm receiving electric shock. Wow. I think I had not planned to talk about that, but can we talk about that as well and not talk about power supply only? Can we? Come on. Can someone tell me if we can go that route? Can touch on that because people get affected by earth connections, and someone is in the house is receiving an electric shock, and they have called on an electrician to do that troubleshoot. So before we go to the consumer unit, do you think we can touch on that as well? Let me get an approval from you, my top boss, so that we can work together. We have power supplied all the way to the home, but there is an issue of electric shock in that home. So I want us, before we go to the consumer unit, to deal with that as well, because this homestead has a lot of issues. Or probably if they have power supply, they have an issue of electric shocks. Probably they are operating that electric cooker. That is one area that has really brought a lot of problem. We are talking about the kitchen section. Now, the kitchen section has a lot of home appliances that are made of metallic casing. This could be the electric cooker, the microwave, we have the refrigerator, we have the freezer, some electric kettle. We also have, what else? What else do we have? Uh, Blenders, mixers, bread toasters. All of these, most of them are made of metallic surfaces. And you find that someone complains they are receiving a lot of electric shocks. And some may even tell you that I received a mild electric shock. Now, I usually say this, there's nothing like a mild electric shock. I was just checking my mic whether it's still on, and to guarantee us that we are still together in this. Yeah. Rajabu has confirmed that it's good for me to also address the issue of earthing. Thank you so much, Rajabu, for your feedback. Means a lot to me. So yeah, let us talk about that. So from the kitchen, we have a lot of appliances that may bring trouble to our client. A customer may be receiving a lot of electric shock over there because of the many appliances that they are using, and they have metallic surfaces. We're not saying that just because these appliances have metallic surfaces should not be used because they can, cause electric shock. But we are saying it can happen if at all there is a fault in the earthing system of that house. If the electrical earthing system in that house is faulty, then you will have a problem. If at all it does not create, remember we defined an electric shock as this, or excessive electrical charges as uh, stray charges or bad electrical charges that are on the surfaces of appliances and cannot find an easier and safer route to the ground. Because assuming we have an appliance which is a metallic or made of a metallic surface, and it's receiving an it has an electric shock, or it has charges on its surface, meaning anyone coming in contact with that appliance is either injured. An electric shock can be harmful because once charges flow into your body, you might be injured. Different people are affected differently by electric shock. In this manner, there is a person who might be exposed to electric charges and there and then receive very serious injuries. There is another one who might even die instantly. And there is another person who will just, take away their hand or whatever body part that has been subjected to that electric shock. So different people are affected differently. And I normally say there is nothing like a mild shock because it might be, not be friendly to you, if I may use that term. It might not be very severe on you, but on your family member, it might be very catastrophic. So that is why, especially if you are living with someone or you have visitors coming over frequently, you must ensure that at the moment whereby you received an electric shock, you address it immediately. Another scenario which is very bad is also you might be affected by an electric shock today, in the sense that you will not feel a lot of pain, but probably after some time it might, persist. And the next time that you are in contact with this surface, you might receive electric shock that may be very catastrophic on you, may even lead to serious burns on your body. So what do you need to do? You must ensure that you get someone to fix it ASAP, as soon as possible. So that is why that issue is very important. So we have determined that indeed that home has a problem. So what you do, for instance, in that scenario, at the meter box level, we have to first of all check on the integrity of our earth connection. I know when we talk about the earthing, we will ask questions like, where did you receive the shock from? Was it from the instant shower head? Was it from, the electric cooker? Was it in the kitchen area? Was it in the bedroom area? What is the specific appliance that led to that issue? And so we might start with that. If they are receiving an electric shock in the bathroom, they could not necessarily be receiving an electric shock in the kitchen. Simply because it is the same electrical installation doesn't mean that the entire installation is faulty. So we will be tempted to go that route. But since we are still at the meter box before we progress, then let us exhaust that at that level at the meter box. So at the meter box, what do we expect? Number one, loose connection of the earth cable. Now, for us here, we normally bond the neutral and the earth connection at this part here. We also have the connection at the meter box whereby we will have the earth connection going all the way to the ground, connecting to our earth rod, and we also have the connection going all the way to the house or the consumer unit or that installation. So let me take my camera closer so that I may give you a clearer picture of what I'm talking about. So normally we bond our earth and a neutral here, which I've come to learn that many countries are not doing that. And I think it is a flaw on our side because we need to have a separate line for the earth connection going all the way back to the source. The source, as we agreed, is the transformer. So we need to have three conductors on the poles that are supplying us with electricity, where we have the phase, we have the neutral, as well as the earth connection, so that this earth connection will be carried separately all the way to the transformer. But anyway, let me know from your country or from your practice, what do you do? Because in our country here, the connection looks like this. We bond the neutral and the earth at the point of the input from, the drop cable coming from the utility pole, right? So if there is a problem, then this becomes our first aspect. There will be, no return path for the charges. And then we have to bond it to this metallic meter here, which that one guarantees that this metallic meter box will not have excessive charges on its surface in case we get in contact with it. But now we have another two connections over here. We have this one. See, at this point, this one goes directly to the earth rod. And as you can see here, we just try to separate them properly. As you can see, we have three connections. Yes, I think I can make it simpler like so. We have three connections over here coming to be in contact with this meter board here. So we have one that is going all the way to bond with the neutral. Then we have another connection that is going to the consumer unit, and this final one, which is going all the way to our earth rod in the ground, which is located just immediately under our meter box. And having said that, there is a video that I talked about earthing. If you have not watched it, feel free to check it out. A lot of information that is really helpful when it comes to earthing there. We shared it in our YouTube channel, this one, Top Heights Electricians. So if at all there is a problem in the house, someone is receiving electric shock, we'll definitely come and ask ourselves those questions. Is the earth rod beneath here working? You know, because in case there are excessive charges, why is it that this path to the earth rod is not performing its work? It's not taking the charges all the way to the ground. There has to be a problem. Do we have a loose connection here? That is a question that we can ask. Another thing we can ask, between this connection here, or between the earth rod connection all the way to the consumer unit or to their house or that electrical installation through this mains cable here, is there a problem? Right? Because from the house or from the consumer unit, the excessive charges will travel through this cable here, the earth connection, which of course has to be of the correct size, which means not less than 10, all the way to my connection here. And using this path, it will then flow very safely to the ground. At the ground, these charges will also find their way all the way to the source, the transformer. If that entire connection is compromised, that is why now these charges have another alternative route. You will flow through this cable here, this cable. That is according to our country and the connection that I see, all the way here, all the way to our neutral connection where we have bonded the neutral and the earth, and then go back to the source, the transformer. Right. So if at all there is a problem there, if the connection there is compromised, as I have explained, the connection for for that earthing is compromised, then your customer will be subjected to an electric shock. Okay, if that earthing connection is compromised, then there will be a huge problem over there. But assuming then that you have used your meter and everything is okay at this particular point of the resistance over there, you'll want to know if your earth connection is working, the earth rod is working. You take those readings over there. So if at all there is that problem, then you will conclude that at the meter box level, everything is okay. And once you are able to make that conclusion, then it will imply that you need to do something else. And that definitely means that you will check at the internal installation, meaning at the consumer unit. Right. Smash the like button if you are getting value over there. And let me also know where you are streaming from. If you will definitely be watching this out or as a recorded version, kindly smash that like button if it gives you some value. And if at all you will be new to our channel, subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss an episode when it comes to electrical or electricity supply, the flow, and everything. So we have covered the faults that are likely to happen at the meter box level, and we have a lot to discuss when it comes to the consumer unit. For my consumer unit, I have this circuit here. As you can see, it has tripped. And what could have led to this circuit to trip? So that is what we will be discussing in our part 2 segment of troubleshooting electrical issues in a house wiring. So that has been my time. My name is John and this is Top Heights Electrician. So glad that you could find time to join me. So I will end our live session for today there, and part 2 is definitely coming up tomorrow, and I will be sharing in advance the specific times so that you can join me and we can be able to discuss how to troubleshoot the problems in a house wiring. That will definitely be part 2. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sparing your time to be here. It was great to have Rajabu. It was great to have Lucy P, Daniel Hungo, and also my very good friend Nabuma. Kalalo Ismail as well. It was such a great honor to have your company in here, and everyone who just joined or has been here and I didn't mention your name. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate. We'll interact more in our future videos and also in the live stream that I will be hosting tomorrow. Let us continue to interact more. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic time. This is Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Goodbye.